We've got ourselves a very interesting update on Ripple and XRP. And it feels like I'm making these videos nearly every single day, but that's mostly because there's just crazy updates nearly every single day. And today is not an exception to that rule. We have some juicy Ripple/XRP lawsuit news. So if you're an XRP holder, make sure that you press that like button. To not waste any of y'all's time, there's actually quite a lot that's happened over the last 24 hours or so. And honestly, I think I have to start making even more videos because, well, I sometimes wait thinking, oh, okay, we're expecting something, let me wait an hour. But if then every single time I wait an hour, we have to wait another 1 hour for another update, that's how I can kind of go in an infinite loop. And that's because a ton of things have happened ever since I made my last video. So first of all, we have this right here. Cryptillion Payment Systems, an online digital wallet service for retail customers and commercial retail businesses using XRP, asks to file an amicus brief supporting Ripple's opposition to the SEC's motion for summary judgment. Again, you might read this and think, that's bad. They're supporting Ripple's opposition. What? They're supporting a specific letter that Ripple wrote in opposition, basically, to whatever the SEC wrote for their summary judgment. So don't get it twisted. This is a very positive thing, and these guys are also on the side of Ripple. Now, that on its own, I think is worth an entire video on my channel here, just talking about exactly how that is going. And over the days before, I guess, there was also some more crazy stuff. For example, below is the transcript of the summary judgment hearing in the SEC versus Library case. A lot of people got excited because that one got pretty heated. We obviously had Vallejo Capital LLC joining and another one party, the Crypto Council joining. I'm not even sure if I covered those in a video, but I did say a couple of days ago, I think actually a week and a half ago already by now, that most likely there's going to be some sort of crazy snowball effect in terms of amicus briefs, and that's because nobody wants to be the first, nobody wants to be the last. They're basically starting to roll in as, well, the chance of winning sees a higher point, right? The more likely the chance of winning, or the higher the chance of winning rather, the more likely people are to join and say, hey, I'm on that side too. Hey, wait a minute, wait for me. But it's also because, well, you don't want to be the nicer of the bat. And it's not as if there's necessarily a monetary incentive for them, except for the fact that they get, well, a lot of attention because of doing so. I think it's mostly in the sense that, well, it is to some degree standing up for your own rights, standing up for crypto. It's the right thing to do. And if there's a very high likelihood to win, well, what's really stopping you if at the end of the day, I don't think you can make a loss in terms of attorney costs with all the extra publicity that you get from doing so. Here's two attorneys file motions to appear pro hac vice so they can file a motion to file an amicus brief on behalf of VeriDAO LLC. And a little bit later, we had the actual letter that is after this one. The SEC has filed, this is all an hour ago, SEC has filed a motion to extend the time to file all parties' reply briefs until November 30th, 2022, and asked the court to order that any additional amicus briefs are filed by November 11th, 2022. So we have about a week or so to go. Any additional amicus briefs be filed by November 11th means we have about a week or so more to go from within or where a lot of new reports are most likely going to be handed over. And that specific part that was just posted as well, the VeriDAO LLC has filed a motion to file an amicus brief. And again, guys, as far as I understand, there's a difference between actually filing your brief and basically the motion to file. This is basically, hey, I'm a party, in this case, VeriDAO LLC. I want to join the court as an amicus curiae, and or at least I have something to say about this specific issue. For example, the specific opposition from Ripple's side to the SEC's summary judgment motions, and they have to basically request the court to be able to file that piece, right? And so what I'm understanding from reading this, and again, take everything with a slight grain of salt as I'm not a legal advisor, I'm not a lawyer. All I'm doing is reading a lot about the law and trying to interpret it to the best of my ability. But as far as I understand, we have about 7 more days before a lot of then briefs have to be filed, right? Because it states, and I'm just reading, I know you guys can't see, and ask the court to order that any additional amicus briefs be filed by November 11th. And by the way, if you're wondering what this November 30th deadline is, it's actually, they took it away and extended it from November 15th to 30th, and Ripple said, well, it's fine. And also they changed their limit of amount of pages from 45 to 55, but I guess that's also because more and more people are hopping on in, and obviously you need a little bit more time to prepare for that. I think that's also why Ripple is saying, sure, fine, go ahead. Because there's a very high likelihood the judge was going to say yes anyway. this pushes the lawsuit back, let's say about 2 weeks or so, the end of everything. So it's not going to be before the end of the year, before our last most important seal is filed, or rather the opposition to the omnibus motions to seal. So basically the opposition or the reply to the eventual seal motions. And it's kind of funny that they again state to prevent the need for additional extension requests. So to prevent it that there can be more delays and whatnot, they don't want any other amicus motions to be filed after November 11th. They want everything to be done before. And it does make a little bit of sense, right? I don't want to say now that that's, again, a very strange thing from the SEC to do. Because as far as we can understand with logic right here, well, if the motions just keep coming in and in and in, well, then the SEC can never properly prepare for a good reply. And they don't have enough time. They might have to take it from November 30th then to December 30th or whatever, if it just kept on rolling in piece by piece by piece. So this does, in my opinion, make a lot of sense. So how does this affect my thoughts on XRP and whatnot? Well, before we move on, I should tell you guys that if you're looking to get yourself into trading crypto or whatever, make sure you check out BitGet. A link will be down below, because just for signing up, boom, you get $10. And for depositing, $50 or more, boom, you get $20 in XRP that you can do whatever with. However, if you deposit more, you can actually get upwards of $8,000 worth of deposit bonuses. And as I've described, $8,000 worth of bonuses, for example, you can trade with this $8,000 for $800,000 if you actually use some crazy leverage. But what I'm trying to say is basically these bonuses, you can always turn them into cold hard cash if you know how to trade properly, which I won't be explaining here. I might actually do that if I make a full review, just to explain how you can turn these bonuses into, your own money. Because straight off the bat, a bonus you cannot withdraw, but if you're smart with it, you can. But more importantly, I personally think using these bonuses is always smart, to just grab whatever bonus that you can and use it to make some crazy trades. Now, is this something that I can recommend to everybody? No, but to some people, this might be something very nice. I'd prefer, of course, if people actually take their time to learn how to trade and take things slow. But I'm just saying, if trading is not your thing, there's one thing that you can do. Take these bonuses, as I said. And this is my honest personal thoughts. Just kind of wing it. It's free money anyway. If you're trading with $8,000, for example, with some leverage, that's $800,000. If Bitcoin goes up, and if, for example, let's say an altcoin, and actually doubles in price, boom. You've made yourself $800,000, right? If that were to happen. Again, the likelihood is pretty small, and there's a very good chance you're going to lose your bonus if you play dumb games, but it's something that's worth trying. Just check it out for yourself. Check it out in the rewards tab over on BitGet, and let's move on. Yeah, so if I had to describe if I'm bullish or bearish or whatever. Oh, I got scared by my little Seagate backup disk. Oh, it's now lagging. Maybe because my backup is doing something crazy. I don't know. But yeah, let me explain it like this. There's almost nothing that can happen right now that is going to pump the XRP price, because I think the majority of these good announcements are already priced in. There was actually one relisting that I just read about from a small Canadian exchange or so. But the fact that Coinbase joined the lawsuit, for me, was the big dot on the map. The big freaking, how do you say that again? That game, darts. The big dart in the ace or bullseye. Man, English is sometimes a pretty rough language. I don't know. Ace in the hole or bullseye or something like that with my dart. Like, you guys hopefully understand what I mean. Coinbase is the big ace. Now, from there on forward, what exactly are we excited for? I guess if some other major party comes on in, like another major exchange, like for example, Binance or Binance US, because that's theoretically speaking possible. I'm personally thinking they might. However, there's an interesting part about it, which is that I do not know if Binance US offered any lockup rewards for XRP. I know the normal Binance does, or for example, one of those entities like Nexar or whatever. I'm just thinking if one of those steps in, they have another additional interesting use case for XRP. Because otherwise, if it's just Binance US for their normal day-to-day exchange services, well, how are they that different from Coinbase? They offer this sort of similar service. I'm not so sure if their opinion to the court is that much more important than the one that Coinbase already gave. But you guys get my drift. I guess from now on forward, it wouldn't be logical if exchanges relisted it just quite yet, even though some might already be doing so. And the only reason that's the case is because things have not really changed. Things are just looking better. So even though it's not as if the likelihood of winning has actually gone up, it is the way that people perceive the likelihood of winning. Because the majority of XRP holders, the majority of people in the community already knew that this would all come. They would already understand, and they knew Ripple will eventually still win. So there's just a couple of intermediary parts, which will most likely be good for Ripple, yada, yada, yada. It's just for the people that are not within the XP community that look at this and think, hey, that Ripple thing, maybe got a little bit of a chance, huh? And that's honestly the majority of people buying right now, I'm assuming. Of course, you also have the usual buyers like me. I buy every single day. But what's going to pump the price? Well, relistings, the lawsuit ending, and most likely the utility once the lawsuit is over, as it's too much of a pressure. I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, but Ripple this, Ripple that. We have NFTs on the XP Ledger, and the fact the price didn't go absolutely wild because of some crazy announcements like that really means there's a lot of pressure on it right now. And I'm personally thinking it's all because of this lawsuit still, and things are going to change, but they still might take some time. However, really now is the final end stretch. It cannot be more than half a year before this lawsuit is over. And to a certain degree, that's kind of scary to me. That means that I have a maximum of 6 months to accumulate my end goal of XRP before it potentially gets too expensive. Yeah, that is kind of scary. In the same sense that for me, ADA is ridiculously expensive. I bought the majority of my ADA at 2 cents. You can watch my videos back from a couple years ago. It is really annoying for me to buy ADA right now at like, I don't know what the price is, 30 cents or so. But even when it was at $2, $3, that was really, really annoying. And so to then now think about XRP at, you know, let's say $5 again. It's never gone there, but you guys understand what I mean with again, right? Just at that crazy of a high price. Yeah, that would be very, very strange. That would be very, very hard on my pockets as well. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to it nonetheless. But yeah, that was it for right now. Little update on XRP, Ripple, whatever. See you guys again in another crypto video later today. Adios, amigos.